Hi, welcome to Escapia. Today, we are here with a poem called The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats. Firstly, हम line by line poem को देखेंगे and for the themes and analysis, please stick to the end. Okay, so here it goes. I'll arise and go now and go to Innisfree. So the poet here is talking about a place called Innisfree, which was a place he visited during his childhood. And Innisfree was a happy space for him or a happy memory for him. So he says he wants to go to Innisfree and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. There he wants to make a small cabin, okay, out of clay, and he wants to make a fence around it. Wattles means fence, okay. So he wants to build a cabin and keep a fence around it. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee loud glade. So he wants to plant 9 bean rows to eat, तो खाने के लिए उनको वो beans he will sow beans, and he wants to keep a hive for the honeybee, and he wants to live alone in the bee loud glade. So bee loud glade means glade is an open space before a forest, okay, a clearing, it's called a clearing, and he wants to live there amidst the sound of bees, therefore bee loud, okay, and he wants to live alone. So इससे पता चलता है that he is not a lonely type of person, he enjoys solitude, okay. This is the first stanza. In the second stanza, he says, I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow. Here he talks about peace, that when he goes to Innisfree, he will be very peaceful. And then he lists all the things that will bring him peace. So, हमें ये list देखना है कि what are the things that will bring peace to him when he is in Innisfree. So the first is dropping from the veils of the morning. So first he says it's the sunrise. Veil means cover. So when it's sunrise, so darkness का cover हट जाता है. So dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sings. So where the cricket sings means the night time. रात को we hear the crickets chirping. So दिन में there will be sunrise, and at night you will hear the cricket chirping. Then midnight is all a glimmer, and in the midnight he will look at the glimmering stars or at the fireflies maybe, okay, and noon a purple glow, and he will bask in the sunlight, and during noon he will look at the reflection of the sun in the lake, okay, which will provide a type of purple glow, okay. And evening full of the linnet's wings. Linnet is a bird. In the evening all the birds come home, and so he will see a lot of linnet birds. It will be full of linnet birds, okay. So whether it's sunrise, then at night the crickets chirping, then midnight there are the stars, noon there is the lake, and evening full of linnet wings. So from morning to night he will be, to midnight actually, he will be very peaceful. And the peace comes dropping slow. That means peace is something that comes slowly and gradually. So he has divided all the activities that he will do there, and everything will bring peace to him. Here peace is personified. Personified is when you attach a human emotion or a human quality to a non-living thing. So he says peace comes dropping slow, okay. This is the second stanza. In the third stanza he says, I will arise and go now, for always night and day. He says that I'm just about to go now, okay, because every moment he hears, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. So day and night means every moment he hears the sound of the lake water. Lapping is hitting, okay, वो लहर का sound होता है, the sound of waves, okay, and it is produced by the lake water when it hits the shore. So this lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, this is an alliteration, lake water lapping, okay. So he says that I hear the sound of the lake water hitting the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. He says that now while he is standing in the middle of the road, okay, he's at the crossroads, and he is in the hustle and bustle of city life, okay, and then he feels maybe physically and mentally suffocated, okay, and this is the line that is in direct contrast to the poem, because here we see his reality. Okay, while he stands on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. Grey is a very sort of dull color in poetry. Okay, it represents his colorless life actually. There is no color in his life. Okay, so while he stands on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, okay, in the middle of traffic, and he cannot hear the sound of lake water because his ears are busy with the noise, okay, and the loud sounds of the city. Then he hears Innisfree in his heart. Okay, he hears the lake water, the sound of the lake water lapping. He hears it in his heart, and he thinks about Innisfree again. He thinks about going to Innisfree again and enjoying or having a very peaceful stay there. So this is the line by line explanation of the poem. So now we'll go to the themes and the analysis. Hi guys, I hope you like the video. So now we'll talk about the themes and the analysis part of the poem. Okay, so theme mein, what we have to discuss is the theme of escapism. Okay, so what is escapism? Escapism is when life becomes too difficult for you or reality becomes too tough to handle, then we want to be diverted, okay, or we want to distract ourselves, okay, from that reality, so we run from it. Okay, this is called escapism. So it can be a vacation, it can be a movie, it can be music, okay, so it can be anything, okay, it can be playing games, talking to a friend, okay, so whatever you do, okay, to run away from your present, that is called escapism. So in the case of the poet, so before that also remember one thing, that Innisfree is an actual place, okay, it really exists, and Innisfree is a place that he went when he was like during his childhood days, okay, he went to Innisfree, and that space has always been a happy memory for him, okay, so whenever, and that's his escape place. So whenever he feels, physically or emotionally suffocated, okay, in the midst of city life, all right, then he thinks about Innisfree, he thinks about going to Innisfree. We don't know whether he will go to Innisfree for sure, but the very thought of going to Innisfree and heaven, living very peacefully there, gives him that sense of calmness that is required for him to handle his reality. Okay, so this is the theme of the poem, escapism, and nature elements are obviously there. Okay, you can talk about nature, and that is fine, but the main theme is escapism. How Innisfree is an actual place, but is also a state of mind for the poet. That is a state of mind. Whenever he feels, when reality becomes very tough for him to handle, he thinks of going to Innisfree. So that's a state of mind, and it's also an actual place where he wants to go. ओके, सो ये सभी देखना है. एनालिसिस में यू शुड read the poem line by line. Okay, I hope you understand the line by line explanation, and after that you should connect his reality, that is in the last second line, when he stands on the roadway or on the pavements, on the grey pavements. Okay, you have to understand the contrast. Okay, that line is in direct contrast to the rest of the poem, so you have to understand the contrast and his reality. Okay, where he actually is, okay, where he is trapped, or maybe where he feels suffocated, and then we'll understand the value of Innisfree in his life. Okay, so this is important. We have to understand the poem in that context. Okay, and the theme is escapism. So that's all. I'll see you in a new video. Thank you.